Welcome back to another episode featuring a conversation with road and track writer Robert Sorokanich. Brought to you by APiDA Online, this is Offtrack.
Well, I mean, you know, I like working with people who might not be well known in automotive writing, because that's how I got into automotive writing. Is, you know, I started out unknown and I became known, and so I try to give people a shot whenever I can, but I'm also not afraid to tell folks, you know, this is not the kind of thing that we would normally cover.
Yeah.
And that's not me being rude. That's not me trying to pull up the ladder behind me. That's just me being truthful. And, you know, a lot of times people will pitch me something and I'll say, this is not quite what we would cover. And that gives them an idea of how to pitch me next time.
Okay.
It gives them an idea of what I would be interested in hearing, what I would like to cover. I think that's just being a good internet citizen. You know, that's just...
Yeah, I think so.
That's just... And I am always afraid of missing out on a good writer and having them go somewhere else. Or missing out on a good story and having it go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a professional fear, you know? So I try to take the time to listen to pitches, and also, if I'm interested in something, I try to snap it up quickly. And if I'm not interested in something, I try to give a better answer than just no.
All right. Well, I get that. I get the need for good content to be on the forefront. But there is that. I mean, when you're writing, right, you are putting forward not only the brand of Road and Track and Car and Driver, which is a really long magazine if it was Road and Track and Car and Track.
It's like every car word with and in it. Like I also write for pavement and gravel, and steering wheel and brake pedal.
Ox and cart. It's important for you not to, what I'm saying is important for you not to bring in shit.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I mean, that is a very important thing. And there's no way to say this without sounding like kind of a self-important douche, but Road and Track has been around for nearly 70 years.
Right.
Car and Driver just celebrated its 60th anniversary. These are, and I mean, the websites have not been around for nearly that long,
This is pretty much, this is most of the time when the automobile was, invented.
We were there when the car first came out.
Exactly. We did the first review.
No, but it's not, I'm not trying to say, like, look at how important these companies that I write for are.
Yeah.
But there is a certain expectation that when you go to roadandtrack.com or caranddriver.com, you're expecting work on that level. And so when I find good stories that our readers would be interested in, and that it's important for us to cover, and stories that are done in such a way that they fit in with the personality of Road and Track or Car and Driver.
Yeah.
Like, those are my three big criterion. Is it important to cover? Is it important to our audience? And does the work live up to our standards?
Okay.
And you know, like I said, I don't want to make this sound like, you know, Road and Track and Car and Driver are the be-all, end-all. They're run by human beings, you know?
But they're still pretty big players in an industry that's been doing this for many, many decades.
Right, yeah. And part of my job in my own writing and in the stuff that I pull in from elsewhere is I need to live up to the standards that the people who worked there before me established.
Exactly.
And I want to live up to the hard work that the people who came before me did.
Yeah.
I don't want to let the ghosts down.
Well, in the same vein, I mean, I felt like it was the same thing for me at Jalopnik, because even though Jalopnik is it's been around for 10 years now, but it's still relatively new compared to, you know, Car and Driver, Road and Track. But I didn't want to have them second guess their decision to bring me on.
Right.
And it was very important to me that I outwork the people, or at least be on that same level of people that are working there full time.
Right.
And All right, where's this ambulance? Where's this ambulance going?
We're in the clear.
All right, is this okay or no? Because
You got to go around the thing.
okay, all right. Like, okay,
That is the most vague street sign in the world.
It is so stupid.
It's 2 left turn arrows, and one of them says no in front of it, and the other one says okay in front of it. And it's both turns go to the same road.
Right.
I think we nailed it. I think we did okay.
I think we're good. I think we're good. But yeah, what I wanted to do is I just wanted to like, this is already a place where everybody's super hardworking and everybody wants to be there.
Right. Yeah.
So in order for me to make my name here, or like just make my mark on this industry, as you will, I have to outwork people. Okay, and I have to be the guy who gets in earlier than everybody and the guy who leaves later.
Right. Yeah.
So
because when you're starting in any industry, you're an unknown quantity, and that's true no matter what job you're doing. And in order to make yourself known, you've got to hustle. You know.
I mean, I always tell people there's a virtue of working for free, but work for free. Not that doesn't mean do mindless work. You know, like mindless labor.
Right.
For free, in the hopes that it'll get somewhere. Do work that's focused on what you want to do. Like there's some overarching goal, like some grand goal in your mind, and you think that doing this will get you to that goal.
Right.
But you're not getting compensated for it. Do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. If you can see a benefit in it to yourself, and even if that benefit is just, you know, letting the important people know my name, getting to be familiar with the people who do what I want to do.
Right.
Like, that's important in and of itself. I mean, when I started at Gizmodo, I was not a tech guy. You know, I was not a cell phone and laptop nerd. But I knew that I wanted to write. I knew that they were taking a chance on me by offering me this internship. And I wanted to make sure that they didn't feel that was a mistake. So exactly. I learned everything I could about the things that we covered. I had no innate interest in the topics that we covered, but I made sure I knew it cold. I made sure that I knew and internalized the voice of the publication, what they did and did not cover, the reasons why they would cover certain stories and not others. And I mean, the other part of that is from the moment that I was hired there, even as an intern, I had great editors and people who guided me along and taught me, this is how you do this job. These are the important things to keep in mind. Like, you know, the questions that I ask myself when I'm deciding whether or not to cover a story are the questions that I was taught to ask myself in my first writing job at Gizmodo. And, you know, you have to be willing to promote yourself and to work hard and to give people a reason to notice you. But you also have to be very willing to learn when you've done something wrong.
Oh, of course.
And
yes.
to be contrite and to own up to your mistakes. and you have to sincerely want to learn from the people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. One of the best things you can ever do is to go to somebody that's been doing whatever it is you're doing for longer than you have, and then just ask them for tips or and listen to what they have to say, because there is that one thing where aspiring, I don't know, in any industry, right? Someone who's aspiring to be somebody, they go, oh no, I have my own way of doing this and this is the way I do it.
Right.
And I don't have to learn from anybody, and I'm not taking shit from anybody, and you don't know what you're doing.
And that is a great way to be ignored.
Exactly. If I told Matt Hardigree that I have this awesome art of the flip thing, and by the way, you have to pay me this much because this is exactly how much I'm worth, and I'm not taking a penny less, and that's ridiculous. I would never get hired because
you would never hear from him again.
Exactly. It would just been delete because nobody wants to work with somebody like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I told him I'm really willing to learn about anything that I just want into this world. I'll do it. I'll do it for free, and I'll give you every waking moment and opportunity that I have to to write something substantial, that's what I'm going to give you.
Right. Yeah.
And it seems to have worked out so far.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I was low man on the totem pole, and what happens when you're low man on the totem pole is that if budgets get constrained, you're the first one to get cut.
Right. Yeah. Last hired, first fired.
Yeah,
It's
so,
true.
So I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I heard stories of other people getting fired because they were just going through the motions. And
Right. Yeah.
I said, I cannot have that. And when I took the job, when I took the position, the first thing that was going through my mind was, in 2 weeks, I'm going to run out of ideas. I am so going to run out of ideas. And now it's been a year, and I'm like, I think I have it down to where I know my own thought process.
Right. Yeah.
But there still is that looming thing in my head. It's like, what if I run out of ideas tomorrow? What if I just don't have anything?
Yeah. And I mean, that is a fear that I think anyone who does anything creative lives with, is the fear that, you know, your greatest idea is behind you, or that you will never be able to recapture the magic of a great idea. And that's not really a realistic fear. It can feel very real when you're in the throes of that sort of panic. But the most important thing that I've learned, and I'm still refining this skill every day, is the ability to find stories and the ability to judge an idea and figure out what makes that a go or not a go.
Yeah.
And as you learn that, and as you refine your judgment in that manner, you start seeing ideas where you would not have seen them before. And that's how you keep being able to do this after a year or 2 years or 5 years.
Plus, new experiences are opened up to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, how many things have you done working with Hearst that you wouldn't have dreamed of doing, you know, before you were in this industry?
Oh, it's been night and day. I mean, just the mere fact of having, you know, Hearst Digital Media on my business card it opens up so many avenues that I would never have if it was just me. Now, that sounds a little unfair, and it is, you know, if I was a freelancer trying to compete with me, I would say, oh, well, that's totally unfair. And it kind of is, but at the same token, like, I work in a lot of the opportunities that I've had, I've been side by side with people whose business card only says their own name and their own email address. Freelancers who just hustle and who just work hard. So, you know, doing it the way I did it, which is to get a job at an organization that you've always wanted to work for, is one way of doing it.
Yes.
But for every one of me, there's 5 freelancers who are doing it at the exact same level that I'm doing it. So it's not an us or them kind of thing. You know, you just have to be willing to work hard and to sort of make the case for you being included in that group.
Yeah, definitely.
This is basically turned into the pull yourself up by the bootstraps hour.
All right, that's it for today's episode. But what did you think? As always, you can leave a comment down below to give us your view, and join us next time when we continue the conversation. Be sure to follow Bob on Twitter to keep up with his frankly amazing automotive writing, and subscribe to this channel by hitting the button right on top of me if you want to see more videos just like this. Thanks for watching.